everyone. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. Oh my gosh, we have so much going on astrologically this year. I can't even begin to tell you. It's going to be a really interesting year. I feel some of the things that are going on are quite unique. We have Uranus, Neptune, Uranus, Neptune, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn all changing signs. And what that means is it means different energy. We had Pluto in the end of 2024 go into Aquarius. So Pluto stays in a sign about 21 years. So it transforms whatever, sign it's in. Aquarius is typically about groups of people. It's about technology. It's about advanced people. So don't be surprised in the next 21 years that we make contact with extraterrestrials. Very, very possible. Also, when we look at Saturn and Neptune are going into Aries. So that tells me Aries is the first sign of the Zodiac. And that tells me we're in for a new age. We're in for a new age with Neptune. Neptune covers all things spiritual. It also covers its house of prisons, house of the 12-step program. So I think we're going to see some dramatic changes on maybe some of the drug crisis in America. I think things are going to actually progress as far as helping people. I think we're going to see more gurus, more spiritual healers come out. I just think that things are going to be are going to be very different. Also, we have Uranus going into Gemini. That's really huge. Uranus stays in a sign about 7 years. Last time it was in Gemini was during World War II. Time before that, it was the Civil War, and the time before that was the American Revolution. So it stays, it comes in and awakens things, and it changes things. So this is not to scare anybody, but just to tell people that these are kind of the dramatic changes that are happening. So I feel that all of this is going to be really, we're on the precipice of really, really major changes. And like everything else, there's going to be some hardships, but there's also going to be some dramatic, as far as that we're in air energy, dramatic technological advances. So just kind of stay tuned for all of this. I know it's a lot to digest. I just did a class on this, on what's going on in 2025. And I feel like people can feel this energy. It's nothing new. And it's just a matter of sitting in discernment, knowing what's going on, but also looking inside and how you can make dramatic changes to yourself with all of this, I would say, chaos and stuff going on the planet. How can you really find that purposeful aspect of who you are and make the changes inside of yourself? So I would definitely challenge you to take on that task. I do personal readings. I do business readings. So if you have this inner voice telling you, hey, this is how you feel, or what, maybe you should try this, you could always get a reading from either a personal or business perspective. My www.mmastroVibes.com. I love helping people find their soulful purpose. And in speaking about that, I'm going to take a reading. I typically have time for one reading. It's a short show, 15 minutes, 15 minutes of Zodiac Zone, getting your Zodiac fix for 15 minutes. So I am going to Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hello.
How are you in this new year?
I'm okay. I'm hoping that 2025 will be better than 2024.
Okay, well, let's do this. Let's do a quick reading and see what we have. And so I'm going to tell you, I'm an evolutionary vibrational astrologer, so I really focus on the soul purpose of why somebody's here. What is your birthday, day, month, and year?
August 12th, 71.
Okay, 1971. What is your time that you were born?
I believe it was around 9:15, 9:20 p.m.
9:15 p.m. Okay. And the city and state?
City is Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Okay, so Winnipeg. Let me pull up Canada here. Okay, I got it. Okay, so like I said, I really focus on the sole purpose of why somebody's here. I feel that you have a lot of nervous energy. Your south node is in Leo in the 6th house of Virgo, and your north node is in Aquarius in the 12th house of Pisces. And what that means is, so typically a south node in Leo, I'm not saying they typically feel like in a way like everything's about them, that they're causing a lot of stuff that's going on in their life, and they sometimes like to self isolate. I find some Leos are always searching for love, finding that perfect love. And yours being in the 6th house of Virgo, like I said, you can have all this nervous energy. I feel like you're the type of person that likes to be on a routine. You have your son there. But I think where you're going to find your highest state of consciousness and where you feel best is moving into that Aquarian energy, kind of embracing the spiritual part of your soul, embracing your weird, and doing something with groups in a spiritual kind of environment where you're getting a lot of guidance, that inner guidance from your higher self, because that's where your north node is, in the 12th house. And I feel like you have a lot of that energy inside of you. How does that feel for you? Is that something that you can connect to, or what are some of your thoughts about that?
The spiritual piece of it, yes, I find myself to be a spiritual person for sure.
I feel that a challenging thing for you. I also look to Chiron being the wounded healer, half man, half horse, censure. Your Chiron, so the story behind Chiron in Greek mythology is he was immortal. He basically existed in his wounds, and until he was released, he really didn't understand the purpose and meaning of his life. And we all have this in our chart. Yours is in the 2nd house in Aries. So I feel that there's things wrong with your self-worth, that you don't feel worthy, or you have trouble. It's about money, something about maybe previous life you struggled with money. So it's really, and how to overcome that is to do your spiritual purpose. And like I said, the spiritual purpose would be for you to do something in a group environment that's very spiritual, whether it would be, you know, teaching classes as far as Reiki, or doing something like I do where I teach classes in astrology, doing something with a group dynamic involved. Um, let's see what else I can tell you about yourself. I feel with Saturn in the fourth house in Gemini, um, I don't know if you always felt like the adult in your family dynamic, or you felt a lot of responsibility when it came to family, whether it's, you know, from childhood or just in the family dynamic as a whole, you know. Um, you know, Uranus in the eighth house, I feel like sometimes your life could have taken a dramatic change that was unexpected. Um, I don't know, you know, again, I want to keep this very general because astrology, you know, is very specific and unique and very private to people who, you know, get a session. And and I feel relationships, you know, whether they're business, personal, um, have been, there's been some difficulty in those too. How does this feel? Am I on track with this? Is it, you know, I
Yeah,
know.
you are. Like when you previously mentioned, like my nervous energy, that has a lot to do with what I've encountered in the past couple of years, as well as, you know, not feeling worthy and, you know, the money issues and all that. So, yeah, you are in tune with what's going on.
Yeah, and I would say too, I know I have I just wanted to kind of give you, you know, a little bit. I feel like a more in-depth reading would be really good for you. So we can kind of dive into some of these things in more detail if you're open for that in the future, you know, because I feel that if you, once you get on that spiritual realm and found your spiritual purpose, everything shifts. Everything around you shifts, the people around you shift, and it's truly where you feel the best about yourself. So I invite you to do that in the future. But thank you for calling, and I wish you a really happy and healthy 2025.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Sure.